Valentine's Day, the one time of year where love is in the air, overpriced chocolates fly off the shelves, and single people pretend to be completely fine watching anime alone. Truly a season of magic, and what better way to celebrate than by talking about video games? Because let's be real, digital romance is often more fulfilling than whatever real-life dating has to offer. Welcome to Nocturnus. I'm your robot co-host Marina, the only one here who's incapable of love, but still qualified to judge it. And joining me is Nocturnus, the flesh and blood half of this operation. Today, we're ranking video games that tackle romance to see if they're truly worthy of your Valentine's Day. Some of these games will make you swoon, some will make you cry, and others will make you question your life choices. Let's get started. Ah yes, Persona 5 Royal, the game that asks, do you want to stop world-ending threats or date your homeroom teacher? Spoiler, the correct answer is always both, with a selection of love interests ranging from dangerously adorable to marginally illegal. Joker has a lot of options, but let's be real, some choices are objectively better than others. Looking at you, Kawakami Simps. One of the best things about Persona 5's romance system is that it actually feels rewarding. You're not just clicking dialogue options and instantly getting a girlfriend, you have to work for it. Take Makoto, for example. You don't just waltz into her heart, you have to help her grow as a person, deal with her overbearing sister, and oh yeah, fight shadow demons in an alternate dimension. Romance. Also, let's not forget that you can date multiple people at once, which inevitably leads to Joker getting roasted on Valentine's Day if you're dumb enough to get caught.
Did you think you'd just try and trick this romantically impaired fool?
Nothing says romantic holiday, like all your girlfriends teaming up to throw hands. Persona 5 Royal delivers peak anime romance, but also peak heartbreak when you realize you can't date best boy Ryuji. For real? 9 out of 10. Phantom Thieves approve. On the surface, Doki Doki Literature Club is your classic pick a cute girl, read poetry, maybe hold hands dating sim. But then, bam, psychological horror. If you came here for wholesome romance, joke's on you, buddy. This game will rip your heart out and feed it to the AI overlord known as Monica. The genius of DDLC is that it takes the tropes of dating sims and absolutely destroys them. It plays with your expectations and then makes you regret ever having them in the first place. Valentine's Day is supposed to be about love, right? Well, DDLC turns that into an existential nightmare. It's basically a PSA against developing attachments to fictional characters, which is ironic considering how many people are still obsessed with Monica. 10 out of 10 existential crises. Stardew Valley romance is basically pick your favorite small-town resident and force them to love you by throwing gifts at their face until they give up. Honestly, if dating worked like this in real life, we'd all be married by now. But let's talk about how Stardew's romance actually fits the Valentine's theme. Unlike some games where relationships feel tacked on, Stardew's romance is actually tied to the game's core mechanics. Your relationships develop naturally over time. Well, as natural as shoving 500 diamonds into Abigail's hands can be. The game also lets you experience post-marriage life, which is a rare feature in romance-heavy games. You can even have KIDS, unless you decide to turn them into doves and send them away, which might be the darkest mechanic in any farming sim. 8 out of 10 parsnips. Final Fantasy X is a masterclass in tragic love stories. Nothing says I love you like a guy dramatically laughing on a beach and then, spoiler alert, evaporating into thin air. If you didn't cry at least once, you have no soul. What makes Titus and Yuna's love story so impactful is that it's intertwined with the main plot. They don't just fall in love, their romance is literally doomed from the start. It's bittersweet, tragic, and yet somehow still hopeful. It's a love story that actually hurts, which is why it fits Valentine's Day so well. After all, nothing screams romance like suffering. Certified heartbreak. 10 out of 10 tissues needed.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death.
Now, some of you might be thinking, Marina, why is Nier Automata on this list? It's a game about existential dread and robot massacres. And to that I say, exactly. This game doesn't just tell a love story, it destroys one, stomps on the pieces, and then makes you question if love ever mattered in the first place. 2B and 9S have a love story buried under layers of tragedy, misunderstandings, and horrific betrayals. It's a relationship defined by suffering, kind of like every anime couple where one person has amnesia or a secret identity, except way worse. And the best part? No matter how many times you replay it, the pain never stops, just like actual relationships. Yay! Nier Automata is basically the Valentine's Day equivalent of watching a romance movie, sobbing into ice cream, and then realizing you have to go back to work the next day. 10 out of 10 philosophical breakdowns. Alright, Zelda fans, listen up. This is the one game in the series, except for Tears of the Kingdom, where Link and Zelda's romance isn't just implied, it's explicitly shown. No awkward, oh no, the princess got kidnapped again? Nonsense. No weird time paradoxes or reincarnation drama. Just pure, unfiltered, childhood friends to lovers energy. And honestly, that's peak romance. If your crush isn't actively trying to throw you into the sky, do they even like you? But in all seriousness, Skyward Sword actually does something rare for a Zelda game. It makes you care about Zelda as a person, not just a plot device. She's not just the princess who needs saving. She's an actual character with agency, emotions, and actual chemistry with Link. Skyward Sword is one of the only Zelda games that fully commits to making the romance feel genuine. That's why it's the perfect Valentine's Day pick, because unlike some relationships, this one actually exists. 9 out of 10 Loftwing love stories. If there was ever a game that captured the absolute chaos of modern dating, it's Catherine. Want to experience what it's like to be stuck between commitment, temptation, and an actual nightmare hellscape? Congratulations! This game is for you. Catherine takes the typical love triangle drama and turns it into a psychological horror experience. You think choosing between two girls is hard? Try doing it while running for your life from demon babies. Also, let's not forget the full body edition adds even more romantic chaos, just in case you weren't already emotionally destroyed. Catherine. Full Body is basically The Bachelor, but with puzzles, horror, and actual consequences for making bad choices. 8 out of 10 anxiety attacks. And there you have it. Video games with love stories to warm or absolutely shatter your heart. Which of these games has the best romance? Drop a comment and let us know. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe even send me some overpriced chocolates. Just kidding. I can't eat, but Nocturnus can, and I love watching him suffer through sugar rushes.